Hey guys, it's going to go for about 20 minutes here. It's going to be short because I'm meeting my girlfriend soon. Just got back from the gym and I'm going to reveal why Haaland just broke the Premier League record of the most goals in a single season. I'll tell you how I coded him to win the Golden Boot before the season began at plus 350, and it was 10-1 for him to score 30 plus goals, and he's on 35. I predicted before the season began that he'd score 42 league goals. That means now he needs 7 in his last 7 games. If he gets 42, I'll put that right in my top 5 predictions to call a guy in his first season to come to the Premier League, the best league in the world, and score 42 goals in his debut season, when a lot of people wrote him off saying he didn't fit in with the style of play at Man City. So he needs 7 more goals in 7 games in the league. And with his hit rate, I'd be shocked if he doesn't get that. Hey, Svali, how you doing, my brother? Much love to you. Hope you're well. Every game I've coded Haaland to score this season is scored. All right, I'm going to break this down for you. How you doing, Stephen? Listen to this. And if you're on my website, you see I do this every day. Many people are messaging me thinking West Ham take points off City, but I think City win. Haaland has good numbers to score. So pay attention to the numbers, not the fact that Haaland keeps scoring. Pay attention to the numbers. Haaland can score his 51st goal in all competitions. Today's date is 5/3/2023. 5 plus 3 plus 20 plus 23 equals 51. Haaland signed from Borussia Dortmund for 51 million. Borussia Dortmund play in Germany, where the Illuminati were founded. They were founded 5-1. The anniversary of them being founded was actually yesterday. Haaland, which I coded early in the season, scored the last goal of the game in Man City's 3-1 away win versus Arsenal, which led to both teams being on 51 points. So today, he got his 51st goal in his 31st Premier League game. The closing goal of this game was scored by Phil Foden, who's heavily in my code. He was in my code at the beginning of the season with Man City, because the last game of the season is played on Phil Foden's birthday. And Phil Foden got the last goal of this game today. And Phil Foden's birthday in the Premier League season is on a day leaving exactly 31 weeks left in the year. City can advance to 79 points 79 days before Haaland's birthday. They did. West Ham can stay on 34 points and 9 wins, and 34 is the 9th Fibonacci number, and Haaland wears number 9, which is that number of completion, something that's about to be completed by the end of this year. Haaland's 45th game in all competitions is the 9th triangular number. West Ham can stay on 9 wins and 7 draws, like 97, which is the 25th prime, and City can get their 25th Premier League win of the season. So it is staggering. I've just done a video now. Basically, a lot of people are asking to sign up to my website. I've just done a video on how to sign up, how to best utilize the website, and what the website offers. The best $10 you'll ever spend. Simple as that. Best $10 you'll ever spend. If you're not signed up, I don't know why you haven't given it a go yet if you watch my videos every day, because I'm only revealing snippets on YouTube and Twitter as to what I put on my website. Today I coded Allardyce going back to Leeds. I talked about demonic entities, all sorts of information that I share. I appreciate everyone that supports it. I'm seeing 23 in the live, 3 likes, 233, the 51st prime, of course. What's up, Alan? I'm doing well, Stephen. Like I said, I had a nice workout. Code's hit again. I'm going to meet my beautiful girlfriend, take her for some food. She's adamant she wants to go to Costco. I think she needs to go shopping. I ain't a fan of that, but I'll do it for her. And then just chill out with her tonight. Coaching tomorrow. Probably got the gym again. But I'm all good. 28th of May, yeah, that's when the season ends. It's Phil Foden's birthday. Phil Foden's number 47, like the US next president's going to be the 47th. Phil Foden replaced David Silva. Silva, the atomic number's 47. Phil Foden's number, all beautifully coded, and I'm able to reveal it through the gift of God. How about doing a WWE breakdown? I have. There's some amazing videos on my channel about WWE. I've shown it's a satanic industry. you'll have to find it. Just go on. If you go on my website and type in, if you click on the YouTube channel icon, you can find the videos like that. I've done many videos on wrestling. I was a huge fan, but what's wild, I don't know why I did, because I'm still intrigued somewhat of it. Today, for about 30 minutes, I watched a 30-minute documentary about Bret the Hitman Hart, his career, because he was one of my favorite wrestlers, and obviously what happened in Canada. So the Montreal screw job. Still intrigued with that. I still go, why was it done on that day? I've coded it all. Why was it Shawn Michaels against Bret the Hitman Hart? And did Owen Hart really die? And all of that. I've talked a lot about wrestling. It's in my book as well that I'm going to release. Or maybe I took it out. I think there's a snippet in my book about wrestling. Great code today, Adam. Cheers, Gary. Something's about to be completed by the end of the year. Could you elaborate? I think World War III will be triggered in the 247th year of the US being founded and the Illuminati, because they were founded the same year, 1776. Queen Elizabeth was born 1,776 days after Philip as well. So it could be World War III. It could be the digital currency. There could be another 911 level ritual that impacts the whole world. So Ballon d'Or will have Messi and Haaland as first and second, the Messiah and the Beast. Yeah. Remember the Beast, Haaland. That's why I said he'd get 42 goals in the Premier League, because the Beast reigns for 42 months. The Beast, Haaland, replaced Jesus at Man City, 9 for 9. So the Beast replaced Jesus, who then went to Arsenal, who plays for the Gunners, which connects to war. That's why they're called Arsenal. So my code yesterday was bang on for Jesus to score and Arsenal to win as well. That was another 3-1. Number 31 made it 3-1, guys. Number 31. And I said on my website that, and it finished 3-1. Just like I said, Leicester Everton will be 2-2. And it was. People keep raving on about Arsenal winning the Premier League. Listen to me. Just listen carefully. If you've got bets on it, if you want to put bets on it, pay close attention to what I'm saying. Say whatever you want about me. I know how good I am. All right? Say whatever you want about me. Before the season began, on the site, I said Man City will win the league and Haaland will be the golden boot. I thought the code was great. Boom. 4 or 5 months in, Decoding Oz, check him out on Twitter. He's amazing. I'm not blaming him in any capacity. Sent me all this amazing information for Arsenal and Queen Elizabeth and the royal family and how Arsenal can win. And it's the most staggering information. I added to it. I got carried away with it. And I was like, Arsenal. Went off the City pick, but I was like, City still have an amazing code. So will Arsenal win the league? It don't look good, does it? If they do, you can thank Decoding Oz mainly for it. If City win it, I ain't going to be coming at you at the end of the season saying, City win it. I ain't going to do that. But that's the reality. For 4.5 months, I was City before the season began. So all the people on my website who took City and Haaland Golden Boot at 6-1, they're laughing. And it ain't about me covering myself. I see things, I'm like, oh, wow. And I ain't always right with it. But more often than not, my original pick is right. Like Argentina 18 months before the World Cup, stuck with them for 12 months, told everyone to bet on them. The day before the World Cup, bet on Argentina, but also bet on England and Brazil. One of them's going to win. Argentina won it, huge odds. Just being smart with it all. So, again, I don't know. Odds suggest City. When Arsenal were up by 8 points, me and Lockwood were talking about it. I said, why are Arsenal up by 8 points and still not the favourites? He went, that's probably because City went league. And then Arsenal kept winning. And then Decoding Oz kept sending me amazing codes. I was like, geez, he could be onto this. And then eventually Arsenal became slight favourites. And since then, it's been City. So I ain't going to sit here telling you who's going to win that league. Odds now scream City. City are going to need to lose a couple of games. It's hard to imagine them losing. But practically every City game this season I've coded perfectly. Every time I've coded Haaland to score, he's scored. So if you get Haaland and City will win, more often than not, you at least get even money or higher, depending on who they're playing against. Remember Haaland, he was the player who scored City's last goal against Arsenal when they both went to 51 points, guys. I had Haaland and City to beat Arsenal away. Do this stuff all the time. So again, unless you're on my site, you can't factor in how incredibly consistent I am every day. You can be one of these guys that comes on my YouTube channel, sees that I've done a video about Arsenal, that stayed in your brain, this, that, and the other. You allow that to be the way that you judge a person. You're not on my site. Unless you're on my site, you really don't know what I'm doing. You really have no idea as to how accurate I am every single day. That's the reality. And soon enough, I've said this, I've just done a video. I am one strike away from this channel going 2 years of real hard work, amazing videos, creating a community, expressing myself. It's been a wild ride. I'm one strike away from being gone for revealing too much. Simple as that. Not for hate speech, for revealing too much. You have to, if you care about me and what I do, and you want to keep listening to me talk, you have to subscribe to my BitChute. The link is in the description. So is my Rumble. And so is my website. Because I am this close to YouTube getting rid of me. This close. I'm telling you all of this now because I don't know if I'll ever set up a YouTube channel again. With how ridiculous it's becoming. I might not. So, yeah, you do have to be smart. Basically, for YouTube now, I'm not going to say anything too controversial. I'm just going to come and reveal my finds. I'll talk about God. I ain't going to go into a lot of the other stuff, which I can say on my site, because there's no community guidelines. There's no third parties. The stuff I really want to get into, I can put on my site. Here, we all know, on YouTube, I'm limited. I've had people say, if you're such a truth seeker, which I can't stand that term, you would say this and you would call that out and you would say this. You can't on YouTube. And again, it's people telling you to do it who don't have a YouTube account, giving you advice. I take advice from people that have done things in their life. I will take advice from somebody who has had a successful YouTube channel, not somebody who's never had a YouTube channel. Haaland to leave in the summer and Arsenal will win next year. There's absolutely no reason why Haaland would leave after a season of being the best striker in the world. Why would he leave? I have hit 80% in the NBA this season, higher, mate. So again, you're not on my site. I get practically every NBA game correct and the prop. You're missing out, man. What are you buying for $10? What are you getting for $10? In reality, an omelette, a beer and a packet of crisps, packet of cigarettes, put on a $10 bet, which you probably lose because you don't know how to bet. What are you doing with $10? Ask yourself that when people say, oh, I can't really pay $10, and they're at the movies spending 25 quid watching a shitty film, eating popcorn. Yeah, you can afford it. Your just priorities are wrong. What about Rumble? I have a Rumble. I told you, as soon as YouTube get rid of me, which they will, I will start posting there. I'll start live streaming on Rumble, even if I have to pay. By the way, StatMuse now, where you used to get all the statistics for baseball and basketball and hockey, they're charging $20 a month now. It's because people like me are coding these sports and revealing it. So they're trying to price people out of the information. So I have to pay, but it has to be $20 now to get that information. That's like 2 months on my website. It is good, StatMuse. It does give you some really good information. It's helped me a lot. It would make my job a lot harder not having it. But they've just, out of nowhere, they've gone from it's free to $20 a month. They've not gone, all right, we may as well make some money off it. Let's go $5. They've gone straight up to 20. So I believe the devil don't want people using that. But then you have free will. Are you going to pay the $20? Most people won't. They won't. How many goals do you think Haaland will end with? I said 42 before the Prem started. I said 42 before the Premier League started on my website. 42 in the league. In all competitions, it's hard to say. Right now he's on 51. He could wait in all competitions. So he's got the FA Cup final. He's got the 2 legs in the Champions League, probably the Champions League final. So potentially Haaland, if he stays fully fit, he's got 7 games in the league, potentially 3 in the Champions League, that's 10. And then the FA Cup final, that's 11. He's on 51 goals. If he ends on 66, guys, and he gets 15 goals in his next 11 games, 66 for the book of Revelation being the 66th book of the Bible and number of the beast equals 66. It could. It's asking a lot that. It could end up on 66 goals, which would be absolute insanity. Hey, much love, Deception. 66 and 42 are absolutely enormous numbers. When you add them up together, you get 108, which is a sacred number in geometry. I've done many posts about that. Adam, do you agree with Hubbard's breakdowns of the news being numerical rituals? What's your opinion? Thanks, much love from LA. Yeah, I think when it comes to decoding the news, Zach's amazing. That's it. If it comes to decoding the news and revealing that it's coded, yeah, he's probably the best. When it comes to sports and biblical scripture and the way he presents his work, I can't watch it. But the news, yeah, he does amazing work with the news. And I think if he just focused on that, he would be amazing. But then he tries to convince people he can code sports at a really high level, and he used to be able to, but he can't anymore. And he has to just say, all right. He knows that's where he makes his money. People won't really sign up just to watch him decode the news, especially if they believe the news is all bullshit anyway. So, yeah, I think he does a really good job decoding the news. So does Chigozu. I can do it like that. You need a mixture, honestly, at a high level. If you want to code, you've got to be able to code the news, professional sports consistently for people to buy into what you're doing. It's the best way of revealing the code, in my opinion. Got to be able to be aware of biblical scripture and revelation, in my opinion. There's a lot to factor in. So much to factor in. Yeah, Yaya Toure did wear number 42. It's funny how his brother Colo played at Man City with him. Something not right about those Toure brothers. But yeah, Yaya Toure was amazing at Man City. Perhaps their best player, wasn't he? And he's wearing number 42. That number is associated with African Americans. It is in gematria. That's why Jackie Robinson wore 42. Wow, I have 42 in the live. It's funny how yesterday the Lakers dropped the Warriors to 35 and 10 at home. Satan gets you 35 and 10. It was on the anniversary of the King James Bible being published. LeBron's nickname's King James. He got his 56-point game against the Warriors last year on 3-5, like 35. King James equals 35. Satan 35. Baphomet 35. Messi won the World Cup at age 35. JFK, always in our programming, is the 35th president. So I found God even more. That's amazing. You've convinced me back to Christ, Adam. I was thinking a lot about Islam before watching you in Revelation. I even went to a mosque at one point, but ever since you talk on Revelations, I found God even more. Thank you. I think the devil's behind Islam. I apologize to anyone out there who's a devout Muslim. I'm not having a go at you or anything or judging you. I believe that the devil's behind Islam. That's what I think. Real Madrid versus Man City will be very interesting. I'll be coding that. I already have decided who I think is going to progress. I'm not going to tell you here. But I've already made a start on those games. Have you heard the YouTube channel Call Me Kinfolk? No, but if you say it's stuff's pretty good, I'll check it out. Real Madrid, Man City is on your birthday. I hope you have a great birthday. How old are you going to be? Out of interest. Surprised Joseph isn't here. Posting 20 calculated fines a second. That guy has turned into new Zach Hubbard. I have no issues with Joseph right now. Thanks for the voice message earlier when you were in the gym. Subscribe to your website, finally. Thank you, and my pleasure. Yeah, I was at the gym. I like to go to the gym. I think it's important to get away from a screen, although I was on my phone sending you that audio. But it's going there and having a nice workout. I respond to people. I go out my way to respond to people. I get a lot of messages every single day. I try my best to respond to everyone. It can be exhausting at times. Sometimes I just want to turn my phone off. But when it comes to decoding tacos, I'm the best. Yeah, Svalli knows his tacos and cilantro and onion. Mate, I hope to see you soon. I really do. I'll treat you to some tacos. How many? 4 for the 4 horsemen. Nice bottle of water. 20 years on 9/5/23. Nice. Jim fixed EPL. Jimmy Savile. Only a Leeds United fan. King Charles' best friend. Did you see how Mo Salah, the Egyptian king, scored in Liverpool's last game before King Charles will be coronated? Revelation 9:11 is all about the king of the bottomless pit. Salah born 15/6, 9/11, the 156th prime. So a month ago, I said Liverpool are going to stay on 8 draws and 9 losses for a long time. They've won every game since. Why did I say that? Queen died 8-9, massively connected to Liverpool. Hillsborough disaster involving Liverpool was in 89. And ever since I said that, again, go back on my site, you'll have to flip back because I post so much. I was like, Liverpool will stay on 8 draws and 9 losses for a long time. I think they've won the last 5 games in league since I said it. Yeah, Lockwood, amazing guy, just an amazing guy and coder. I think the best coder there is at decoding goal scorers, to be honest. Today, Salah on the website, Martinez for Inter Milan. He scored the 5th goal for them. He scored. I had Haaland and Man City to win. So just beautiful. Like, of course, you ain't going to get absolutely everything right, but the level of knowledge shared on the site, the interactions between each other, the hit rate, the variety of information, yeah, it's off the charts, and it should be a lot more than $10. Especially StatMuse charging $20 now. But I did say I ain't going to up the price, especially with the economy falling apart. I won't do it, although I should, but I won't. Coronation will be on Tony Blair's 70th birthday. It's amazing. Tony Blair connect to war, especially the Iraq war. So yeah, very interesting indeed. King Coronation, we had Jubilee last year. It's all kicking off. See how Haaland scored after 70 minutes and the Queen reigned for 70 years? It's not man behind all of this, guys. And when you get closer to God and you get better at coding, you start to realize that man could be aware at the highest level, but they're not controlling the code. They're not. In my opinion, they're not. And if they are, wow, man is genius. Man City's run to the final could be Bayern, Madrid, and Milan, the 3 kings of Europe. Maybe a link to King Charles in that. Yeah, there is. There's a huge one. Because King Charles's father was Philip, and the Champions League final is going to be on King Charles's father's birthday, which is the 10th of June. So yeah, what's wonderful about all of this, in my opinion, like giving myself a tiny pat on the back. For 2.5 years, I've been coding the royal family. Before the Queen died, before Charles was the king and about to be coronated, 2.5 years I've been using the royal family, and I got laughed at. Remember, I repeat myself quite a lot, but for 3 years I've been using Kobe, the royal family, and Pope Francis, and then I started using Revelation. Every code I did had Kobe, the royal family, and Pope Francis. People laughed at me in that Discord and then realized that nobody could code at my level at Discord. That was the reality, but they laughed at me at the beginning for months. They were like, wait, he might be doing these silly codes, but he keeps getting them right. And now I've told you, you go on anyone's Twitter, or if you're following them on Patreon, tell me that they're not doing what I was doing 3 years ago with the royal family, with Pope Francis. They're all doing it now. Try find a code without the royal family in it now. Be honest. You took out Liz Adam? No. No. Don't make those accusations that I killed the Queen. I wasn't in England. Well, Scotland is where she died, isn't it? No, I had her 2 years before I died at 96 in connection to Euro 96. And then her Jubilee lasted 96 hours. Pretty remarkable stuff. Kobe drafted in 96, had the crown tattoo. Oh, by the way, on my website, when you sign up, click on the books, guys. You're getting the Queen book and the Kobe book for free. That's $17 worth of books. A lot of people are not aware of that. That's why I've done that video. You can read or print off the PDF of the Queen book and the Kobe book. Technically, it's for free. So if you sign up, any of you who haven't signed up yet, 1 month's $10. You're getting 2 books worth 17 and a month on the site, where we're pretty much 80% with our predictions. Could that change? Could it drop? Yes. Could it increase? Could it stay the same? Yeah, I can't promise you where it's going forward with it, but I can tell you how it's been going. You know what I mean? That's the reality. You can go and click through all of the posts and figure it out for yourself and add it all up. I don't think Real Madrid get to the final on Ancelotti's birthday. It could happen. I'm not sure that will happen. It could, though. Man City could win the Premier League on Phil Foden's birthday. Just know Real in Spanish translates to royal. Of course, I speak Spanish, and it's pretty obvious, but Real means royal. So Real Madrid are actually called Royal Madrid, and that's why they're the kings of Europe and why they have the crown in their crest. They were owned by royalty, guys. So, very interesting, isn't it? Real means royal. They're called Royal Madrid. So could they win the Champions League again on Prince Philip's birthday? Yeah, of course they could. I don't think they will. But it's very hard to write off Real Madrid, who've won it 14 times. I've been subscribed for months. Can I still get those books? Yeah. Jimmy, all you have to do, mate, is at the top, it says home members area, and then it says books. It says books. I wish I could. Well, watch my recent video. It's only about 15 minutes. You click on books, you click on Queen book, you can download it and then do as you wish with it. Print it like some people have done, but it's a lot of pages. Read it on your phone, on your desktop. You get those books for free. I haven't personally done a great job of promoting myself, telling people what they get on my site. I haven't really done a great job. Gabriel, who's my web developer, gave me a bit of a bollocking. It's like, you're not promoting yourself. How are people going to sign up? They don't even know what their website offers. Like, you give away a lot of it on Twitter. The stuff I put on Twitter, guys, is post game, or it's showing you what I did before. So if I say something like Haaland, Martinez, and Salah score, I'll give you the codes. But it's easier to do it afterwards. No, it was done before, the day before, or hours before it happened. I'm just showing you what played out. So Twitter, Instagram, you get what happened after. The website, you get before, during, and after. Because I often will give people in play. Or there's phenomenal coders on my site who put in play insights. And then you as an adult, I've got to decide what you want to do with the information. You can put all your trust in me, that's fine. Because I'm so consistent. You can find people on the site and go, wow, this person's at Thomas Lockwood. Every time he calls a goal scorer, they score. Or some of the other amazing coders, Chuck. There's too many to name. Savvy, Zen, Steve-O. There's too many. All right? Some of the new people that have signed up, they've sent me some of their codes. I'm like, wow, they're mind-blowing. So I'm technically like the El Capitan of the team, but you can't win a game by yourself, can you? So the community is thriving because the right people are signing up. I've always said, well, I haven't always said at the beginning, I didn't care. If you're there just for money, I always say, don't bother, just don't sign up. I'm not interested in that negative energy. If you're there and you have a gambling problem and you just want to know everything and who's going to win everything and every future, don't bother giving me your $10 because it's so unrealistic. If you want to be part of a community that's thriving, where you learn a ton of information and takes you to the next level of wisdom and knowledge, you come to my side whilst you can, because who knows how long we've got left on the internet. Do you know what I mean? Who knows? I'll get this information now whilst you can. Whilst you have a bit of money in your pocket. We know the monetary system's going to collapse. You found the books. Perfect, Jimmy. Enjoy. The Queen book will take you a while. The Kobe one's a lot shorter. I would recommend starting on the Kobe book because it connects with the Queen book. You'll see why I predicted the Queen's death years before to go at 96. It's crazy how your small YouTuber, they strike you. There's a war on the truth. Exactly. I'm not having a major impact, am I? I've got 10,000. They've kept me on that forever. The work, Patreon deleted me. I've told you that. If you're talking about badge of honors, Patreon deleted my account when I was making $3,000. They stole it from me. Doing nothing controversial. Just getting every code right. It's when I got like 94% in a month. Daily picks every day. And futures and all of it were coming in. They got rid of me. No warning. Nothing. So YouTube, of course, they'll get rid of someone like me. I'm not going to be naive. I'm revealing too much. But Patreon deleting me, that was a real like, okay, this guy must be doing something right, because they don't delete many Patreons, guys. You might give me a few examples. They don't delete many people's Patreons, especially sports decoders. Every man and his dog who's a half-decent coder is trying to set up a Patreon now. And they're fine. I've never seen Hubbard's Patreon go. Haaland was wearing lipstick, getting guard of honor after breaking record. I told you he wears lipstick. I told you who these people really are. I can't tell you on YouTube. Study Baphomet, who has both genitalia, and you'll know what I'm talking about. In-play is great, but you got to be savvy, yeah. Yeah. For example, Haaland at the beginning of the game was 4-11 to score. In the second half, it was plus 175. Huge difference, and he scored. If you trust the code, you go, I'll go in on him now. Of course, that risk, you could lose twice or you could win twice. Depends how much you love a code or not. The NBA is the best one in play. It's often the halftime score tells you who's going to win. I'm just not going to be there every day to tell you that. You've got to figure it out yourself. I have a life outside of my job. You all do. It's not like you guys are expected to work 24 hours a day. So if I'm available and I see it, I'll type it. There you go, guys. This is what I see. This is where the game's probably going to go. And more often than not, it goes that way. Not always, though. Not always. Remember, I have days where I might be just a bit out of it, or just not feeling it, or just not on the right line. But that's very rare. Aaron Judge doesn't always hit a home run, does he? Don't always hit a home run. I don't know if he's the best. I think you're pretty good at them. I'm a bit partial on this one, but I like my work. No, you're amazing. 6079 Smith, your work's phenomenal. What I'll say about your work is nobody else does what you do. I think you make fans that nobody else in the community does. That's the biggest respect I can give you. There isn't a person that I've come across that's made me go, geez, as much as you have. So that's as big as a compliment I can give you. Yeah, it was suspicious for sure. Can you tell me on the website who you think will reach the final between Madrid and City? Yes. I already have. I've already said who I think is going to win the Champions League now. It's there. I'll do it again before the first leg, but it's already there. You just have to scroll through and find it. Just go in the search engine on posts, type in Man City, scroll down, you'll see it. Or type in Real Madrid, done posts on them. Type in Inter AC. You'll find it, but you'll see the one where I've done a Champions League future one, where I've stated who I think's got the best chance of winning it. I have to keep an eye on those games for sure. I don't watch them, but I have to keep an eye on them. Kentucky Derby, I think it's very hard. I ain't going to sit here telling you I'm going to call the Kentucky Derby winner. Horse racing's tough. I've called races, but Kentucky Derby I've never called. I've never called the Grand National. Although the last Grand National, 3 of my picks finished in the top 6. So they all came in each way. People won quite a bit of money, but I didn't call the winner. But there was somebody on my site, amazing coder, Decoding the Matrix. He sent me the winner about 2 hours before, put it on the site, and he won it. Was it Rambler or something? And he connected it to Joe Biden, who was in Ireland, who rambles when he talks. So we had it. We got the website got it right, and all my picks came in the top 6. That just rhymed. If you guys are here, like Adam, give him a thumbs up. Go on then. We've got 47 in the live for Phil Foden's number. Ping it. Give me some likes right before I go out with a bang on YouTube. Hopefully I can get to the end of May, reveal all the Premier League stuff. Hey, Familian. Yeah, Madrid have the royalty connection, but it needs more. It needs more than that. Man City have royal connections. Got that Commonwealth Stadium. There's a lot that goes into it. There's a lot, but I can see why you like Real Madrid. I can see it. We're going to have the upcoming 47th president, 15th prime. I can get the 15th European Cup. We'll see. I'll code it in depth before those games. You called the golf recently, didn't you? Yeah. He was 9-1 in play on the final day or higher, I think. Fitzpatrick. And he won it on the playoff against Spate, who's one of the best golfers of our generation. Spate had these 2 really, really easy putts that I would have putted. And they both hit the rim both times. So that happened in the last 2 rounds of the playoff. I was like, okay, it's done. 2 near misses like that, then he's going to get punished. You know where it was going with the commentary. And then Fitzpatrick hit this like perfect, close to perfect tee shot. And he just had to tap it in. Spate's tee shot was average at best. He had a next to impossible putt. So Fitzpatrick won it. Yeah, I've called many golf tournaments. I called the Olympics, women and men, 12-1 and 8-1. Nelly Corda for the women. And it was, I can't pronounce his name. It begins with S. But I called both of the Olympic gold winners before it began. Both, male and female, guys. People were flying that weekend. Well, not weekend, but over that tournament. What was his name? Scotty Scheffel. Scheffel, is it? Can't pronounce his name. Scotty. He won it pretty comfortably, from what I remember. Yeah, I've got a code. I've got a code about that Kentucky Derby that connects to the royal family. But there's just so many horses. So many of them. What's great is that I've also learned from other people on your website. That's one of the things I pride myself on the website. It's not just the illusion. All right? There's so many people. Because I've basically taught people out of code. And then they've listened to what I've provided. They've gone their own way with it. But ultimately, it syncs up with what I reveal and how I code. And there's at least 50 to 60 amazing coders on there. And I don't see any ego anymore. I don't see competition between each other. There's disagreements, which there should be. That's part of the website. There should be debates and questioning each other. Nothing wrong with that. I just don't sense that ego. I don't see the hate. If there's a code that misses, it misses, because we know most of them hit. We know we're not perfect. We know people are paying $10. What do they expect? In reality, pay me $1,000, then you can express yourself. If I miss picks for $10, you can't really do anything with my hit rate. Even if I was to go on a bad run, there's not much you can really do for $10. So, what football formation do you coach? Depends on my team, mate. It depends on my team, but generally, I have a keeper, back 4. I like my wing backs to play pretty high, not too high, not like Trent and Robertson, who are like play as wingers, but pretty high up. And then I often have a diamond in midfield, depending on if I have a really amazing defensive midfielder. So I'll have a diamond, a defensive midfielder, left winger, right midfielder. Then I'd have someone in the number 10, top of the diamond. Then I'd have my 2 strikers. I basically want my defensive midfielder to, like Busquets, to stay back there, to dictate the play, get it, play it out to the wingers. The wingers get support from the fullbacks, get it ideally into that number 10 who can turn and go towards goal. And then those 3 play off each other, the wingers support. Then you have like 5 against 4, whatever. That's what I like to do. It varies though. It varies on what players I have. But I like to keep possession of the ball. Not because of Guardiola. Just like I like my team to keep possession of the ball. And then know when to go for it. Know when to accelerate. Ego sucks. Yeah, we all need an ego though. You've got to tame it. But we all need ego. It's not all bad. Again, in my book, which I'll release soon, The Illusion, ego's not all bad. It's not. Getting a shower, like looking after yourself, going to the gym, that involves your ego. Wanting to do well in your exams or whatever it may be, it's your ego. It's just taming your ego. You've got to ride the ego and not allow the ego to ride you. It's not as simple as the ego is like the devil. No. Ego controlled is beautiful. Right? And that's the big thing I'm working on. Because my ego is out of control. It's not nowhere near what it was before. Your hit rate is amazing. So grateful. Thank you. I think I'm so proud that it has been for 3 years. You get some coders that do well for a week and then they can't hit a code, or they have one good month and an average month and a shitty month. For 3 years, I've been incredibly consistent. I take pride in my work, and I've definitely got a bit better at taking a loss. They don't come often, thankfully. Maybe that's why I don't get much abuse. But when they do come, I'm like, all right. And I put my code out. All the numbers were there. I've shown you we live in a coded reality. You can't deny that at this point. We're coding against demons. We're coding against the algorithm. We're coding against perhaps God and the devil. We ain't going to get everything right. Oh, no. Not a chance. And I've told you that would be actually boring. Yeah, we'd all have a lot of money. But if it got to that point where we completely knew every game and we were doing it day in, day out, and it became like a global thing where everyone was aware of it, there would be no bookies anymore. You wouldn't win money. They'd shut them down. So I'll never forget when I did have an account and I was betting every day and winning thousands. It was Caliente, emailed me basically thinking that I had an addiction. I could have done at that point, to be honest, but whatever. If you go in a pub, they don't say, hey, you've come the last 5 days. Maybe you shouldn't have a drink. Like, oh, how's it going, mate? They want your money. I kept winning and winning and winning and winning. And then they wanted to shut down my account for suspicious activity. And then they also said they wanted to protect my mental health. Since when, as a bookmakers, give a shit about anyone's mental health? They won't email me when we're losing. As soon as I was getting everything right and I cracked the code, they threatened to shut down my account for suspicious activity. What? For getting things right consistently? You're going to shut me down? That's the system we're in. That's why YouTube want to shut me down. Do you think they care about you guys? Do you think they care about the online community? They're protecting the online community from this hateful, horrific, judgmental illusion? No, that's nonsense. They don't care about your mental health. They don't want to protect you. They want to protect the devil, who I'm exposing. Adam, I'll code your coaching sessions. Go on my Instagram, English Football Academy. You'll see some of my sessions. Go on that if you want to see me coach a little bit and watch me play football a little bit. Not being able to accept that sports is scripted has made your ego, yes. It's delusion more than ego. It's delusion and denial. If you're unaware of the code and you don't watch my videos, of course you think it's legit. It's understandable. I did for 33 years. You just think it's Amazing athletes who were very lucky and privileged to be playing football for a living in front of thousands of people making a ton of money, and you're somewhat envious of them, but you're fans of them. If you've watched me for even over 3 months at this point and you still don't believe in what I'm saying, then you're in denial. It is that simple. If you follow my Twitter for over 3 months and you're still denying the work, you're in deep denial. That's very funny, familiar, and I can't even say that word. Today I saw a tea person wearing a Guess shirt. I can't say what that is. They don't let you say it. The Copa America, I'm not even going to look into it, but you like Argentina. That'll mean that they've won the Copa America, the World Cup, the Copa America, right? They're accidentally admitting that actually giving people the opportunity to win money from them isn't part of their plan. Exactly. Suspicious activity because I kept winning. Really? It's just a joke. You're 3 months in, guy. Have you eaten, baby, yet? I made myself quiche and mushrooms. I bought myself a new non-stick pan. Amazing. Got these mushrooms. I put some balsamic on it. I had my quiche with a side salad. It's very delicious. Often I go out for food, but I'm trying to get better at just making it and cooking it. Probably spending too much money on food. But it's one of the things that brings me pleasure in this matrix. Did UFC and boxing hard at a script because of the physical combat? No. Man's not behind it. If man was behind it, it'd be one of the easiest things to script. You could have someone get knocked out in the first 20 seconds. Again, they're not coding UFC, these people in the ring, in the octagon, where they're getting smashed in the nose and their legs broken and ankles snapped and eyes closed. That's not being rehearsed. They're part of the script, but I think a lot of them are oblivious to it. Messi can go 4 for 4 in Argentina, 44 Copa America. Perhaps, yeah. How old is he going to be? 37? Or 36? You know the boxer Usyk? Yeah, I've called his last 3 fights correct. He posted pictures with him wearing Darkness Comes to Light on the shirt while giving one-eyed symbolism. It's becoming obvious for me. Yeah, of course it is, Mr. Obvious. That's his name. I'm not mocking him. It is. We've got eyes to see. It's blatant. And when you haven't, and you're spiritually blind, you can't see it. Or you're too wrapped up in your own world. Have you ever coded darts match? I've coded darts futures. I love darts. I love playing darts. I had a dartboard for 15 years. Yeah, I've coded darts winners as well in my futures. I forgot to mention that. The highest score is 180, 60, 60, 60, 666. It's interesting that, isn't it? It's the highest score in darts, 180. Again, I always talk about the number 26, how big that is with the queen. If you look at a dartboard, look at the top 3 numbers. 521, it gets you 26. I've coded the dartboard, guys. I went on a stage of just being absolutely mental. Coded everything. Coded the dartboard. The bullseye, the bull is the beast. The eye. The Illuminati, the all-seeing eye. Yeah, Vince McMahon is part of the scripts. That the scripted reality we live in. Vince McMahon is the guy who runs WWE. Watch my wrestling videos, guys. Hit that like button. 58 watching, 25 likes. All right, yeah, that's true. If there's 58 watching, there should be 58 likes, unless you don't like what I'm saying. Pele's sacrifice, I believe, will hand Brazil 2026. I can't look that far ahead to 2026. I can barely look ahead a week. with this world that we live in. I can't start talking about 2026. I don't even know if there will be a World Cup. I know you all guys do. There could be. I don't know. I don't want to talk about 2026 World Cup. It's hard enough getting through 2023. Yeah, Glenn, if this is the Glenn from my website, thanks for everything. I really love your codes. I really do love your codes. I know you put out the information to help people, not necessarily to win them money. It's all coded, guys. They're not rehearsing every single game in every single sport in every single country every single day of the year. We know sports go 52 weeks a year. When one league finishes, a new one begins. That's how it works. It's a huge distraction. And I think they tell us where the world's going through professional sports. That's why it's key to pay attention to what I'm revealing, not just for money. You don't have to gamble at all to appreciate what I'm doing with the numbers with sports and connecting it to biblical scripture. I'm hoping it's not influencing you to gamble, it's influencing you to pick up a Bible. If you do both, people are going to judge you. Oh, if you read the Bible and you believe in God, that means you can't gamble and all of this. People are always going to have a go at you. I code politics all the time. I've called presidents. I've called prime ministers. Go on my YouTube channel, guys. It's all there. Before it happens. I've coded Zelensky. I've coded Putin. I've coded Trump. I've coded Boris Johnson. I've coded Theresa May. I've coded Hitler. Who else have I coded? I've coded Albert Einstein. I've coded Stephen Hawking. I've coded every top star that you can think of in professional sports. I've done Beyonce. I've done Rihanna. I've done Eminem. Done Abraham Lincoln. Done multiple wrestlers. Joseph Stalin. Walt Disney. Amount of people I've coded and shown that all the numbers sync up. You can go watch it. Download my stuff whilst you can. Whilst I have a YouTube channel, whilst you care about what I have to say, download your favorite videos, because I've told you, I'm on their radar now. They want me gone. However safe I play this, all it needs, they don't have to justify anything. Just like Patreon, they didn't justify why they got rid of me. They just said I broke community guidelines. They didn't even tell me what I did. So get on my BitChute, guys. Get on my Rumble. Get on my website. Get on my Twitter. Get on my Instagram if you have any respect for what I do and you want to keep hearing what I have to say. One day I might set up a podcast. I'm going to do a podcast with Donut. If you don't follow Donut, he has about 100,000 subs. He's not controversial, but he's amazingly insightful. He's probably not as passionate as me, and I might have said a few things in the past that are a bit intense. I'm going to do a podcast with him. So yeah, that might be the next step for me. Do my own podcast where you have to tune in and watch it rather than use YouTube. There's always a way. God always leaves you a way. Hey, Adam, I think I found the Champions League winner post on your website. Just to confirm, was it posted on the 15th of April? Yep. The anniversary of the Titanic sinking and the Hillsborough disaster is when I posted it. Code the human body, yep. I have studied the human body in depth, coded it to an extent in regards to body parts. Messi will leave Paris, probably goes to Saudi Arabia with Ronaldo, and no one's even going to question it. They'll just say he went for the money. They just ignore it. Adam, do you ever sleep? Yep. Didn't for about a year. Sleep average 2 hours a day. And yes, that's true. People say, no, you can't do that. You die. No, I was going 2 hours a day and I'm still alive. Now I get about 6 hours. But it's hard for me to go to sleep because my brain's stimulated. And I won't go to sleep unless I've learned something new. Once I am asleep, I never seem to wake up. But there's something about me since I was younger. I always wake up feeling hungover. I feel like I've been beat up. Every time I wake up for the first 20 minutes, I feel like I've been beaten up. So I don't know what's going on in my dreams. I don't even remember what I dream about 9 times out of 10. But until I have a shower and lift some weights, I feel like I've been beat or hungover. I don't know why. I can't remember the last time I had a sleep where I was like, oh, I woke up just feeling beautiful. I'm not a morning person, but at night is when my brain is just, that's when I work on my book. That's when I make music. It's when I do my best codes, like middle of the night. Right. I've got to get off. Man United, could they win the Champions League next year? Anyone who's qualified could win it next year. That's the whole thing. Anyone who's qualified for it can win it. There's so many teams you have to factor in. So many riddles and teams. That's why it's so hard. That's why most people have never called a future in their entire life. Unless you say, oh, I think something blatant is going to happen. Like, I think Real Madrid or Barcelona are going to win the league. But I'm talking about like a real like shock. Like this year alone, I called Barcelona La Liga. I called Napoli Serie A before the season began. They're big shouts. They were not the favourites. And they pretty much won their leagues. And that was all about Maradona. So just know coronation, corona means crown, ion means energy. The coronation will be an energy harvesting ritual, like everything with the royal family. So learn to break down the words, the meaning of the words, whether you believe it's the devil behind them, the Society of Jesus. The English language was founded in the 16th century. Learn what the words mean, or at least what they've taught us, and you'll realize coronation means crown, energy. Everything is energy. You have to decide who and what you're going to give your energy to. Give it to people you don't know, your A-list celebrities, or give it to yourself, give it to God, give it to your true loved ones that you do see every day, that you do love, that you do anything for. Too many of us give our energy to people we don't know in regards to celebrities or politicians. Don't bother. Call them out, but don't be wrapped up in what they have to say. Right. No, we're not against the robot. This is not humanity against AI. This is God against the devil. The devil's behind AI. God's behind mankind. Mankind will defeat AI, but ultimately it's God against the devil. It's the creator against the creation. The creator wins all day long. Right, I'm off. 33 likes. Gonna go get ready, jump in shower, check my website, check it out yourself, guys. Give it a go. I have no idea why you wouldn't want to give it a go if you have $10 spare. It makes no sense why you don't want to support it. Just ask yourself why you're not. Because you're missing out on tons every day. All right. Cheers, guys. All of you talking about the Champions League. I'll code it on my site. All the games. Inter AC, first and second leg. Man City, Real Madrid, first and second leg. I'll code the Champions League final. It's fun. It's such a different way of looking at the world when you go on my site. You can still watch your games, but you're going to watch them with different eyes. You're going to be learning every time you watch these games. You're going to see how coded our reality is every time you watch the game. You ain't going to be watching as a fanboy. You're not going to be doing that. There's something very beautiful about that. All right. Take care. Much love. And enjoy the rest of your day.